So, in the beginning of anything, doesn't matter what field it is, doesn't matter what it is that we're doing, we all make mistakes, right? Beginner mistakes, we run into problems. That's what we're going to talk about today. 10 of the most common mistakes that I see, beginner mistakes that I see in videography. Hopefully, it helps those of you who are now getting into it, and even those of you who are in it, maybe something might jog your memory. So, let's jump in. So, number one is shooting on auto. So, auto versus manual. I know you just got a camera and you're playing with it and you just slap it on auto because you see a bunch of different things and you don't understand what is what yet. Now, that is completely fine. For the first few times that you use it on auto, get a feel of the camera, feel about the body, you know, learn the switches, what this does, what that does. But please, as soon as you can, make the effort to learn how to shoot in manual, because when you learn how to shoot in manual, you enjoy the camera so much more because now you have full control of everything. Use it just at the beginning, but get yourself familiar with shooting in manual. Learn your exposure, your aperture, ISO, all those different things. Learn it as soon as you can. You wouldn't regret it, trust me. Number two, we're going to be talking about lighting. This is when you're building your arsenal of equipment, get yourself a good light. I always recommend people go with Aperture or Amaran. They are two of my favorite brands. Um, all my lights are from them. You should get yourself. You don't have to go crazy with it. Just get yourself a decent one like the 60XS. Get yourself one of those and a nice diffuser, and you're perfectly fine. You'd be okay at that stage, because there are a ton of times where you would come across different client shoots or even personal projects where you wish that a particular area was a bit brighter or the subject was a bit brighter, and you try your best to crank up your ISO or try to fix it in post. It wouldn't look the same. So get yourself a light as soon as you can and learn how to use that as well. And that's the next thing that you wouldn't regret. Number three, yes, ND filters. A lot of people seem like they are allergic to ND filters for some reason, which I don't know why. It's not a gimmick. It's not like an upsell or scam or anything. You need it. An ND filter helps enhance your camera so much more, especially when you're shooting outdoors. So when you're outdoors and you try to shoot a scene and you realize it's like way too bright, you have to crank up your shutter speed to bring it down a bit. That is not correct, because remember, you always want your shutter speed to be double the frame rate. So if you're shooting on 24, you want your shutter to be 1 over 50, or if you're shooting on 60 FPS, you want your shutter to be 1 over 120. And that is the general rule. You don't necessarily have to stick to it. It's a nice guideline to stick with, and it helps you, especially when you're shooting with 24 FPS. It helps you get that natural motion blur, and that is super important. When you crank up your shutter speed, you wouldn't get that. Now, ND filters are not that expensive. They have really cheap ones and they have really expensive ones as well. KNF is a really good brand. I have one here. It's kind of dusty. Basically, what it is, it's a shades for your camera. It helps control the light coming into the sensor, and you don't have to interfere with the settings of your camera. So that's the next thing. Please get yourself an ND filter. You wouldn't regret this one. Please, please. Okay, so number four, we're going to be talking about shaky footage. A lot of new cameras come with in-body stabilization now. Really, really good ones. And even the lens come with stabilization as well. But it doesn't mean that you would get away with it all the time, because you remember you're still moving, the ground is uneven, you might trip or something might happen, right? So getting yourself a tripod is super important, and also a gimbal. I would more say the tripod, um, small rig, yeah. Like get yourself one of those tripods. There are a bunch of them, KNF as well. They all have amazing tripods. but get yourself a really good, sturdy tripod, and trust me, it makes a huge difference compared to just, you're trying to like pan and follow an object or subject, and you have those little jitters and shakes. It makes yourself look super unprofessional. I mean, on the flip side, there is also the handheld style of shooting, which I spoke about recently as well. But you kind of have to know what you're doing there as well. Handheld doesn't necessarily mean like, okay, yeah, you just hold a camera and it's just shaking and whatever is whatever. No, you have to know what you're doing. But at the beginning, you should have a good tripod in your arsenal, and I strongly suggest that. Okay, so number 5 is audio. So I recently invested in the Comica VM40. It's a really, really damn good mic. Like, I strongly suggest for the price, I strongly suggest how you go this way. But right off the rip, you don't need something like this. You can get like the Rode mics, which I have, the Rode Wireless Go, I believe it is, Vision 2. They work, they work really damn good. I've had them for years. They're the DJI ones that I've tested those as well, and they work really damn good as well. So get yourself some good mics. There are a ton of brands out there. There are cheap ones and there are expensive ones. But the mid range is really damn good for the prices, especially now with all the new tech that is coming out and whatnot. DJI just released like their super, super small one that comes with 32-bit float. Not going to go into depth in that, but there are some really, really good ones on the market. So get yourself a really good mic, a decent good mic, and a decent good mic. But yeah, you don't want crappy audio. You can have somewhat crappy footage, but if you have crappy audio, nobody's going to watch because it's just not going to make any sense. So this one is number 6, and this one is planning your shots. So I walk around with this a lot for personal projects. This is my little notepad where I note down my shot list. So when I go into the project, okay, I need this, 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 and I'm just able to tick them off. And before you know it, you saved a shit ton of time and everything just flowed really easily. When you don't do that, you're just going on the fly, which sometimes we have to do, but you waste a bunch of time and you get flustered and you're just like doubting yourself, like, should I do this? Should I have done this instead? But when you plan ahead, it makes everything really, really easy. So try your best when you're now getting into it. Start getting in the habit of taking notes, noting down your shot list, so that when you start to approach clients, now you can tell them like, hey, let's make a shot list pre-production, and so when you go in, you know exactly what you have to get and what you have to cover. Number 7 is a bit of a kind of not, I haven't seen it as much, but I've seen it. And that is overusing zoom, especially like when you get a zoom lens like this. The first thing you want to do, and I see it a lot, you see people like just punching in and pulling out. I see it a lot in beginners mainly. You shouldn't really do that because if you look at like some really top of the line creators, you would see a crash zoom or a pull away or something like that, but it might be like one in the entire 3 minutes or 2 minutes of the video. They might do it once, or maybe a flow of multiple crash zooms. But there's so many different things you can do. You can do like pans and tilts if you have a tripod. You can get some stuff in the foreground. There's so many different things that you can incorporate into the video than just have it going in and out, like throughout the entire thing. So keep note of that as well. Number 8 is a very common one. I'm saving the spicy ones for the end. It's editing. So editing is, before I go on any further, it is something that is personal preference, yes. But at the same point in time, you can critique certain edits and whatnot and just give your opinion on it. So one of the things that you should always try to do is make sure that the song matches the video, the style of it. But again, it's personal preference. So if you think it works with it, then by all means go ahead. But what I would say, if you're now starting, the easiest hack that you can do is time in beats and you cut your video on those beats. Before you get further into it, like you start to learn all the crazy transitions and whatnot, just start with that. It helps a ton. It helped me a ton when I just started. And it kind of helps you see how it's supposed to be, more or less, because editing is basically an art form. It is what it is, right? And a really good edit just flows. And those are the ones that we'll just sit down and look at over and over and over because it was just perfectly put together. And one of the things to stay away from, you know, those transitions that come stuck in the softwares, editing softwares, like where the clip would turn into a bunch of tiles, or the video would spin around, or flip the other way, or star, or something like that. Stay away from that shit. Like, it is, if you're doing it for family stuff or just for yourself and whatnot, I mean, all well and fine, but the nicest way to put this is a friend told me this years ago. Um, think of your edits, because I did one of those screen flip transition things, right? And he told me to stop doing that and think of your edit as a movie. A movie doesn't have those things, but we can sit and look at a movie for like 2, 3 hours, right? And the cuts are so seamless and so perfect that we're just looking and looking and looking. So that is how you want your video to flow as well. And with those things, yeah, even the hyper edit videos, those basically do have a flow as well, because it's not just, if you look at the transitions that they're using, they are connected to the next one. It's not just a bunch of random crap. So keep that in mind. I hope that helps as well. And if you're offended, go cry. Number 9, we're talking about one of my favorite things, which is color grading. So remember we spoke about you shooting on auto and manual, right? So the faster you learn how to shoot on manual is the quicker you would be able to get to this realm, which is color grading. And it's a whole different ball game. Um, a lot of people still choose to shoot on auto or the pre-graded log profiles, like Sony has S-Cinetone, which is basically a pre-graded color profile, right? It works perfectly fine. I've yet to really come across much issues with it. I have seen, now that I'm deeper and deeper into it, I see where it is better to shoot in log. And shooting in log gives you the ability to, you retain so much information and you're able to have your video looking like top notch, super crisp and clean. And then you can add the colors and put your creative twist on it, more or less. So try your best to shoot and log, so you can do color grading. And please learn how to color grade. Orange does not mean that you color graded. Your skin is not orange. I have yet to see an orange person. And people tell me I'm colorblind. I say I'm colorblind as well. But no one is orange. Outside is an orange as well. So when you learn your camera first and then you learn how to color grade, it just syncs perfectly together and you just get magic. And last but not least, number 10 is something that I've been victim to, and I've seen it happen to a lot of people as well. It is backing up your footage. Please back up your footage. If you have a really big shoot and it's multiple locations, carry your equipment with you, your laptop, take your memory card off. As soon as you're finished with that location, dump it on your laptop, transfer it, and go again. What I do when it's just like a simple shoot and come back, when I get back, I would dump the footage on my laptop, especially if it was a big project. I would dump it on my laptop, transfer it on an SSD, and then edit it. So I have it on 3 places, just in case, because you never know what can happen. And you don't want to run into that issue, right? So you have it 3 places, and as soon as you're finished editing, you can delete it from the other two and just leave your backup files. So I hope all of these tips helped. I really do that. I really do hope that they did help, and I hope that you all enjoyed the video. This would be the official first official video going out on YouTube in this style. Yeah. So subscribe, like, share, leave a comment, tell me what I can do better, what you all would like to hear about, and whatnot. And hopefully, we can get there.